Hey, welcome to my kitchen. Today we're cooking for a crowd of 100. We're gonna do something simple. We have some kids that have some food allergies, so I thought I'd give them a break. Can't do it all the time, but today's gonna be a gluten-free day. We're doing a baked potato bars with all the toppings, and these will not be gluten-free. I'm making 3 different kinds of cookies. One thing I need to tell you is this job that I'm volunteering to do has a budget of $100 per meal. The first year that I did it, I was able to stay within that budget. I was at $97 per meal. Last year, however, because of price increases and everything, I averaged between $123 last year. So we'll see what this year brings. Hopefully I can still do my bargain shopping and get everything purchased that's not too far outside of the budget. At the end of each meal, I'm gonna let you know how much I spent. So let's get started. Potatoes, potatoes, potatoes. We are gonna bake up 70 pounds of potatoes. You can see I'm putting everything in my big sink with cold water. I have a special brush that I use only for scrubbing potatoes with, and you can see the water is really pretty. But you're gonna wash these potatoes and let them air dry, and then go around with a small knife, just poke some holes into the potatoes because you don't want them to explode in your oven. This takes a lot of time, and don't stab yourself. You can see that I have a preheated oven of 400 degrees, and I put the potatoes directly on the racks because I like them to get crispy. I have done the option where you roll some oil on the potatoes, salt them, and then wrap them in foil. But the last time I did that, it made a huge mess in my oven, and I will never do that again. The way that I keep the potatoes warm once they're done is I have a big roaster oven, and I have that set at 350. And I'll have that on high like that for about 20 minutes, and then I will lower the temperature oven to 225. That'll hold it and keep the potatoes crispy. Another thing you can do is put a pan of hot water in your cooler and make sure you have it lined with a towel, and you close the lid and let the hot water heat up that cooler. Take the water out and line it with a towel, and it'll keep your potatoes hot for hours. For toppings, we're going to do some green onions, so I'm going to wash and chop several bunches of green onions. I think there were 6 bunches of green onions chopped up, and that's a yummy topping for them. Sour cream, I like to get full fat sour cream, run it through my Vitamix, and mix a little bit of milk in with it so that it runs easily. And then I fill up these squeeze bottles full of sour cream. It's thinner than chunky sour cream, but the kids seem to really like it, and the ease of having them squeeze out that sour cream is really nice. Now it's time to make cookies. We're gonna make 3 different kinds of cookies. One is my mom's oatmeal raisin cookie recipe, but I'm gonna leave out the raisins because I'm not too sure if the kids will like that. In Wyoming, we have a high altitude of 7,200 feet, so I have always gotta add a little bit of flour to my dough. I will have the recipe in the description below, and I will also include a high altitude variation. Crack your eggs in a little Pyrex just to make sure the eggs are good. Put the vanilla right into your egg mixture. Take that over to your mixture and drop them in one at a time until the eggs are very well incorporated. You can see here I'm going to mix together the dry ingredients. I just use regular flour, baking soda, salt, baking powder, and because of our high altitude, I add in an additional cup of flour. Then I add in the oats, and I just use quick oats. You'll mix that together slightly and feed it into your mixer on a slow speed. See right there, you can see I was adding in a little bit more flour. Spray your big pans. I like to spray them in the sink. That way it helps to mitigate a lot of mess. And just mix your dough down a little bit, and I just like to use a teaspoon and grab a little bit of dough and roll it into a ball. And you can see on these big cookie sheets, I can get quite a bit of cookies on each sheet. And in my oven, I'm able to cook 2 to 3 sheets of cookies at a time. These will cook between 10 to 13 minutes. I like to put the cookies in the refrigerator for about 15 minutes just to get them nice and chilled before I cook them. I don't know, my mom always did it, so I always do it. And this is her recipe. Yay, Mom. You can see these cookies turn out really good. They're just chewy, yummy oatmeal cookies. There's so many things you can add to them. These are just plain, but you can add raisins, coconut, toffee bits, chocolate chips, whatever you like. It'll take it. You won't have to change up the recipe at all if you want to make add-ins. Okay, here's a secret, and the kids love these. Cake mix cookies. You add, for this amount, I'm adding 2 cake mixes, 4 eggs, and a cup of oil. These cookies are going to be snickerdoodles, so I used yellow cake mix. And I take some cinnamon sugar, roll the dough in a ball, and spread them out. You can get 3 cookies across on your pan, depending on the size of your pans. And just roll them in a ball. The cinnamon sugar really helps to make it so the dough doesn't stick to your hands. The next one we're going to do is a chocolate cookie, and we're going to add a cup of oil, 4 eggs, and we're going to add white chocolate chips. The kids love these cookies. This is the easiest cookie hack you can ever want to know about. There's so many different cookies you can make out of cake mixes, and we will be doing some in the future. So here you see I'm going to be adding the white chocolate chips. I just add the whole bag. These turn out so chewy and just decadent. I just take a little bit on a teaspoon and roll them into a ball. They do flatten out, so you want to space them apart. And here I'm doing 2 sheets at a time. But see how lovely these look? Cookies for days, and the kids love them. I never have any extra cookies. I think the kids' favorite so far are the snickerdoodles. They are just so buttery and vanilla-y and just delicious. So there you have it. Here's what we served with our baked potato bar. We had cheese, broccoli, bacon bits, sour cream, and green onion. And I also made a huge, big green salad with homemade ranch dressing and bottled Catalina dressing. Had all the cookies for days, and then I always make some kind of a drink. In this instance, I did just a regular fruit punch. It's the Walmart brand of the equivalent of Crystal Light. And I did add 2 liters of Diet Sprite. And the kids seem to really like that. I hope you enjoyed this lunch, and we will see you next week. Bye.